Thus he spake, and the sun went down and darkness came on. Then the goddess, grey-eyed Athena, spake among them, saying, Yea, old man, thou hast told all this thy tale all right. But come, cut up the tongues of the victims and mix the wine, that we may pour forth before Poseidon and the other deathless gods, and so may bethink us of sleep, for it is the hour for sleep. For already has the light gone beneath the west, and it is not seemly to sit long at a banquet of the gods, but to be going home. So spake the daughter of Zeus, and they hearkened to her voice. And the henchmen poured water over their hands, and pages crowned the mixing bowls with drink, and served out the wine to all, after they had first poured for libation into each cup in turn. And they cast the tongues upon the fire, and stood up and poured the drink offering thereon. But when they had poured forth and had drunken to their heart's content, Athena and godlike Telemachus were both set on returning to the hollow ship. But Nestor would have stayed them, and accosted them, saying, Zeus forfend it, and all the other deathless gods, that you should depart from my house to the swift ship, as from the dwelling of one that is utterly without raiment or a needy man, who hath not rugs or blankets many in his house whereon to sleep softly, he or his guests. Nay, not so. I have rugs and fair blankets by me. Never, methinks, shall the dear son of this man, even Odysseus, lay him down upon the ship's deck, while as yet I am still alive, and my children after me are left in my hall to entertain strangers, whoso may chance to come to my house. All right, well, this is a pretty transitional passage today. Probably going to make this one short. They are just wrapping up their little feast here, doing their ritual offerings to the gods, saying it's time to go to sleep. Nestor is being a good host and saying, not while I'm alive or while my sons are alive are they going to allow guests in this house to go sleep on a ship when I have comfy beds and soft blankets right next to me. No, 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 no. You should stay here, and we should all get some sleep together. We talked about the meat, in this case, it's tongues. We've talked about the thighs of bulls. These are all sacrificial offerings to the gods. The washing of hands was mentioned here, and that is part of the ritual to signify purity before they conduct any of the offerings. But how about this for some research? Wait till we go down this rabbit hole. You have no idea where we're about to end up. Let's talk about the epithets, shall we? Grey-eyed Athena, godlike Telemachus. We have read those so many times at this point. The repetition of it. You would think that you could just say, hey, Homer, or those of you who are Homer. Again, we'll get into the authorship of the Odyssey eventually. But you're saying, hey, we got it. We know that Athena has gray eyes. We got it. Okay, great. Fantastic. You have called Telemachus godlike multiple times. We get it. You don't have to say it every time you introduce them. But, however, also, guess what? These aren't just ornamental. They aren't there superfluously. They are actually functional, and they are tools that help aid the oral composition of this piece. Again, this is a story that is being told verbally, not read necessarily by the initial audiences. It's not a stage play as we would expect it, but something that is told verbally. And I'm not an expert on this yet. Getting into the festivals and stuff is something we'll do much later on. But for now, I just want to very generally say that in speaking orally and telling the story, you're not going to tell the Odyssey in one sitting. This thing is long, and even for the highest trained performer in existence, no one has a voice that can go on that long. God, I mean, I do a 20-minute episode of this show, and my voice is gone for the rest of the day. But then again, I'm not trained. Point being that this is the original epic poem is about 12,000 lines of, I think I'm saying this right, dactylic hexameter. And you, as a performer, can't deliver all of that in one sitting. As an audience member, you can't take all of that in one sitting. So while we don't have a lot of information, the prevailing academic view of it at the moment is that the Odyssey, the Iliad, these are, and the other books that have been lost to time, unfortunately, again, earmarking things we'll get to in the future, but can be seen as a modular epic. They're supposed to be performed all over multiple sessions, and this would happen at festivals, communal gatherings, maybe at courts. And so a scene like we're getting today, where there's ritual, where there is a very clean winding down of something, is helpful for this modular storytelling to allow the performers, allow the audience to kind of end there for the day. So then when we pick back up, there are going to be recaps. You know, all of this stuff we just learned about Agamemnon and just this and the whole scheming thing of that was partly new information, partly a recap of stuff we've heard from the very beginning. And this was because the story was initially told over multiple days. That's also why we get the repetition of those epithets of gray-eyed Athena or godlike Telemachus. You would use them as a way to kind of stabilize character roles. You reinforce them every time you start the story up again. Those modifiers will help to keep the intention and the function of that character in the mind of the audience. I realize I just used the term modifier, and I'm not 100% sure I used that correct. But it's messy here on Odyssey. I'm going to keep it there for today. Why don't we learned a lot, I think. I learned a lot, at least. Shall we go into tomorrow? We aren't quite done with book 3 yet. We got a couple more episodes left. So join me here then as we hurtle toward the end. Until tomorrow, okay, goodbye. Odyssey is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. The show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Odyssey, written by Homer. Theme song by Neuroflow. You can support this show and other shows like it by going to patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.